Hey guys, my name is Crazy Penguin, and welcome back to another class overview. This time we'll be talking about the Technician and all of his fun tools. In this series, I cover a class and everything they have to offer, show you and explain to you how some of their weapons work, and then at the end we'll talk about different playstyles and general thoughts on the class itself. So, let's get this started. First off, his first primary weapon is the TCN4 SMG. The TCN4, or Technician 4, Technician SMG, is a halfway decent weapon. It's similar to all the other automatic firing weapons in this game, in that if you can hit people with it, it's a great weapon. But if you're not all that great with it, you might do better with the other option. It's a great gun, high DPS, great damage, the only drawback being that it has a fairly low clip size. You find yourself reloading quite a bit with this weapon, so you'll definitely want to upgrade it all the way to get that extra reload time. Overall, it's a great weapon if you can use it. Otherwise, we'll look at the Thumper. The Thumper is a more noob-friendly gun. It definitely doesn't require the accuracy of the SMG. The splash damage is great for clearing out rooms, finding infiltrators, and it rewards those who take their time with their shots. You can bounce around, and every time the enemy touches the ground, you hit him with your explosion. It's a lot easier than trying to trace somebody with your bullets. When indoors, this gun is amazing. Overall, I prefer it to the SMG, but I can definitely see the strengths of the SMG. Moving on to the secondaries, the first one is the improved repair tool. All of its upgrades are just to give you a faster repair time. You mix it with mechanic, and you can repair things quite efficiently. Also, the only way this thing is going to do damage is if you are hitting somebody else's base assets. It's not super viable, especially seeing as you have to make it to the asset in order to do it. You're not hidden by any means, and generally other things are going to do it much more effectively. Spin fusers, even your Thumper, probably a better route to go than actually using this with the mechanic perk. The next secondary is the sawed-off shotgun, which is a really decent weapon. Hit scan, does a lot of damage, and it can fire very quickly. It's great for burst damage, great for indoors, but it restricts, obviously. You will no longer have the repair tool, so repairing your own turrets, base assets goes out the window for more close range lethality. The last secondary is the Sparrow, which is a really decent pistol. Paired with the Thumper, it's great for finishing off enemies who make it outside of your range. Again, if you can go without the repair tool, this is just another great tool to use at your disposal. Looking at the grenades now, the first is the TCNG, or Technician's Grenade, and it's not the worst grenade, but it's definitely not the best grenade either. It does about 1,000 damage. You can carry a handful of them at a time through the use of upgrading and safety third. They detonate after a short period of time, so you can't go lobbing these super far, they'll explode in midair. Overall, they're decent for the Technician, but I personally enjoy the motion sensor better. The motion sensor very much makes the class for me personally. I really enjoy playing when I understand where the enemies are coming and where they're going, and it has a lot of great uses. If you stick it on a flag, then anybody comes sweeping through to take your flag is only going to leave with very little energy, and it's going to make the job of your chasers much easier. You can stick it at any one of the entrances to your base, alerting you when the enemy is coming and where they're going. If you stick it in front of one of your turrets, then it's going to zap the energy of anybody who might try and run away from your turret. And most importantly, it's going to make the job of infiltrators so much more difficult. If they run over one of these, they become visible, and if they're within sight of one of your turrets, they start taking damage and they can't re-stealth. On top of that, it zaps the energy, so if they can hide and pop back into stealth, they don't have nearly the pool that they used to have. It makes their job of infiltrating much more difficult just by the use of one of these little guys. And then we have the packs. The only one, of course, is the light turret, which is the Technician's bread and butter. This is the reason why you play the Technician. It excels really greatly at defense, as you might expect. Sticking it near your flag or maybe in your generator room is a great choice. Sticking motion sensors around it increases its lethality, especially against infiltrators. And it does about 65 damage and shoots quite quickly. Has a decent range. I personally would like it to be just a little bit longer, but I understand why it's not. It has a decent health pool as well. Just about the only thing that can one-shot this is a mortar or maybe a brute spin fuser. The trick with the light turrets is just understanding where to place them to get the most effect out of them. Overall, great utility and a great tool at your disposal. Alright, so we covered all of the different weapons and options that the Technician has to offer. I would probably say the best way to go about playing him is in a defensive manner, seeing as all of his abilities are geared towards that specifically. Most of all, the light turret, of course. Not to say that you can't play a different style. I've seen a handful of offensive Technicians who run to the other side of the map, place their turrets, and try and harass and and disrupt the best they can. I've also run into a couple of battle techs who opt out for the shotgun or the pistol and run around like they're a soldier or turning flags and fighting midfield like it's TDM. If you're not being a detriment to your team and you can pull it off, more power to you. I simply can't. I'm not that great at this game. But defense isn't the only way to go. But it's most definitely his strength. As far as credits go, I would suggest that you upgrade the radar and the turrets. You saw me use an orbital earlier. That was because I had already upgraded everything. After that, I'd get your defense self-sustaining, meaning that wherever you have your turrets set up at, they can take out enemy intruders on their own, and you don't need to be around your own turrets to defend your base. Once you're at that point, and the enemy team has finally given up trying to take whatever it is they're trying to take, then go jump in a Shrike, or stand on your flag, or do what you gotta do. Have some fun with the game. Overall, Technician is a really fun class, great defensive class, a lot of fun to play, and a great asset to the team. None of this information should be groundbreaking. It's just my opinion on things, giving you a better idea of what the class has to offer and different playstyles, different things that you can do with it, etc., etc. If you do really enjoy the Technician, then I would suggest that you look at upgrading into the Thumper and the motion sensors. At least for me, they make the class. You're more than welcome to try it any other way, but that's how I have the most fun. And that's going to do it for this guide, guys. I hope you learned something. Put it to good use while you're in game. If you enjoyed the overview, be sure to leave a like. Comment down below would be awesome. And I'll see you in the next video, guys.